Larry with 7 Sage Law School Prep and another stick figure exam tip. This one is the overview to our philosophy at 7 Sage Law School Prep, and it's called the 3 Keys to Success on Your Law School Exams. When we talk about the 3 keys to success here, and by the way, in referring to success, we mean something very particular: getting good grades, or even more specifically, getting A's, because that's the definition of success in law school. I don't want to get too philosophical. It's important to learn and blah, blah, blah. If you're in law school, you're there for a reason: to do well, to become a lawyer, and to pursue the career of your dreams. So let me go back. Why just 3 keys? I hate the idea of laundry lists like 10 things that you're doing wrong with cheese. Thank you so much, Gawker. Or 15 ways you can decorate cake with your nether regions. I mean, this stuff is just useless. It's just laundry listing. The 3 keys here are notable because they represent a strategic choice to do these 3 things and not other things. To me, that is what strategy means. It's a choice between competing options. If you don't have competing options, or if you can do everything, if you have time to do everything in the world, then you don't need a strategy. But if you have limited time and limited resources, you can only pick certain things to do with your life. And in law school, if you want to do well, if you want to get the jobs that you went to law school to get, that you dreamed about, you need to get A's. And to get A's, in my view, you need to focus on 3 specific things. And they sound very simple, and there's a lot more to them. The first is to master the law. The second is to master issue spotting. And the third is to master your professor. Each of these has a very specific meaning, and each of these deserves many, many other lessons underneath them. But this is the basic strategy. What you're doing in this course in 7 Sage, if you sign up for it, or even in the free videos on YouTube, if you follow this advice, you're most of the way home, and you're quite a bit ahead of the other people in your class. The 3 things you need to do well in law school are: first is master the law. You need to know the black letter law. You need to memorize, basically, the elements of claims and defenses or various doctrines within whatever subject matter you're studying, torts, crim, or whatever. Once you do that, you can then proceed to master issue spotting by taking practice exams. 100% of your grade in law school, in every single class, is how well you do on an issue spotting exam at the end of the semester. And the one thing that students do not do is practice issue spotting. They don't take practice exams early enough to get ahead of their classmates. The last thing to mastery is, so these you can do without a professor, but exams are not read by a machine. They're read by very human people. Human in that they have certain biases, they like some things and they don't like others. So the last key is to master your professor. You really have to read your professor like a book. And you can only do that by going to class. But also, you need to be ahead of the curve by understanding the law and having some sense of what you need to do for an issue spotting exam to really get what you need out of the professor for an exam. That's a really high-level overview. Notice what's not on that list of things to do. The 3 keys do not include briefing cases, knowing the facts of cases really well by studying the casebook ad nauseum, speaking frequently in class, impressing your professor in class, and some other things that I might add are: this is not a good time to do extracurriculars simply to pad your law school resume. The only thing that you really want in your resume is law review. Other than that, just do things that you like, and even then, try not to do so much. Doing moot court or doing this or doing that generally doesn't impress people. If your legal writing class is pass-fail, you need to do as little as possible so that you can pass the class, so that you do not waste time on a pass-fail course when you have real graded exams to deal with. I've seen this. Certain tutoring students that I've had obsess about their legal writing paper, and they drop everything for weeks to get that done. Bad move. That's the wrong strategic choice to make. You need to stick with these basic 3. Here's another stupid representation of this. There's a law school success pyramid. I wish I could say this is like the fire triangle. You might have certain levels of success, certainly if you fulfill the first two. 1, 2, and 3 were ordered in a specific way. First, you really need to master the law. Then you really need to master issue spotting. And then here you need to master your professor. This pyramid works this way, and I think I explained it a bit a second ago, but if you don't know the law, you really can't start to do issue spotting in any way. You have to have memorized enough of the law so that you can see facts, or you walk around and you just see lawsuits and defenses everywhere that you go. And you really can't master your professor unless you have these two things down. But I think the threshold for good grades is maybe somewhere here. People have done very well just doing these two things. But to really guarantee yourself top grades, do you see this? Ha 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 ha. You need to be here. You need to have mastered the law, you master issue spotting, and then you get in this space. You get into your professor's head, and that's how you do well in law school.